The Titanic 2 project began way back in 2012. However, there have been 3 major delays. Here is its history. Palmer's aim to construct a working replica of the 1912 ocean liner, RMS Titanic, was suspended in 2015. This was because his flagship mining company, Mineralogy, was in dispute with Chinese government-owned CITIC over the payment of hundreds of millions of dollars in royalties to Palmer. However, this dispute was later concluded in Palmer's favor, which resulted in Palmer's vast wealth increasing. The second delay was due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Palmer explains.
When the Titanic was first established, it took from about 1899 1910 to do the design work on it. So we've commissioned a large number of people to do all the design work on the Titanic, and it's taken us 7 years. And we were ready to start construction on it in Europe just when the pandemic hit. But it hit particularly hard cruise ships, as you probably recall, right? So we decided to suspend it to see what happens with the pandemic and whether the cruise market picks up.
But we've decided to relaunch the project today to update everybody on what's happening. With construction, we hope to start in January, February 2025. It'll be a 2.5-year construction, and the first ship will come into service, scheduled at the moment in June 2027.
In March 2025, Palmer announced a potential third delay.
Whatever happened to Titanic 2.0? You're going to rebuild that? What's going on?
Well, we were ready to get going with it, and Harland and Wolff, who built the original Titanic, went into liquidation 6 months ago. So we've now got to find another shipyard to do it. It took us 7 years to design it all.
It is hard to believe that Palmer was putting all of his hopes into the idea that Harland and Wolff could actually build his replica Titanic. Although the Harland and Wolff shipyard now has new Spanish owners, they lost the capability of building big passenger ships decades ago. In fact, P&O's SS Canberra was the last cruise liner built by Harland and Wolff, and that was in 1960. It is hard to imagine naval architects, Delta Marin, recommending this choice of shipyard. If this is the case, why employ them, yet ignore their advice? This disappointing news from Palmer must surely mean that the project is delayed again. We do know that the European shipyards are very busy for the next decade, with many big new builds on order for all the major cruise lines. Finding a suitable shipyard with the availability to start construction in 2025 or 2026 will be a big challenge. The producer of this video, Malcolm Oliver, still believes that Titanic 2 will eventually be built. However, he does not blame those who think that it is all a big publicity stunt that will never happen. After all, over a decade has passed, and there have been a lot of excuses along the way.